So you want to become a YouTuber, but all you have is one of these. But that shouldn't hold you back. Modern day smartphones have become extremely capable video cameras and editing machines. This means that with just a phone in your pocket, you can start shooting, editing, and publishing content. And I'm going to show you how. Apologies for the terrible audio, we'll get back to that in a moment. But creators have been having phenomenal success on YouTube with just their smartphones for years, long before YouTube Shorts were ever a thing. For example, what if I told you there was a YouTuber out there that had gained 1.6 million subscribers in just 1 month on an iPhone 10? In fact, why don't you have a guess at who it is and how much money they spent on their first video? It's not Mr. Beast. The first thing you need to decide as a YouTuber is what type of content you are going to shoot. And when you have a smartphone, which is small, light and agile, that lends itself to more dynamic shooting. This type of shooting style has many camera movements, which refers to the way a camera shifts to visually narrate and shape a viewer's perspective of a scene. So here are some general recommendations when shooting dynamic video. I know this sounds obvious, but when you're filming with a smartphone, make sure you use the front-facing camera, because as you're moving around, you need to make sure you're in shot. And the key thing is to look at the lens wherever it is, rather than the screen, because the viewer's going to notice that your eyes are a little off center, and that can be very distracting. The minimum resolution you should set video quality to be is 720p. Most cameras should be able to do 1080p, and top tier phones will likely record at 4K. But do bear in mind that this will take up a lot of space on your phone, and some cameras will crop the frame at 4K. The standard frame rate these days tends to be 30 frames per second, although 60 FPS will give you smoother footage. Now, one of your biggest challenges as a smartphone creator is stabilization, because the camera isn't mounted to a fixed point such as a tripod. Now, you can buy a device such as a handheld gimbal to solve the shaky footage problem, but obviously there is a cost to that. So here's a free solution. Download the Google Photos app for your phone and go into a video you want to edit. Tap on Edit and you should see this icon below the video. This is the stabilization feature, and it will try and smooth out the video by cropping the footage, removing the outer edges of the video. As you can see, for a free and quick solution, it's pretty effective. But what if your video needs are a little different? You're not interested in this camera that can record anything. You're interested in what's on screen and how to capture that. Typically, when you want to record your smartphone, it's to capture gameplay footage, either to entertain or educate the audience. This is Clash Royale, a game I must admit I got addicted to a while back and played non-stop for about 2 years. These days, many smartphones will include a built-in screen recording feature that's usually accessed from these settings on the phone. In this example, the built-in screen recorder on the Pixel 5 can record both the screen and the audio from the phone itself and what's picked up from the microphone. If you're using an iPhone or an iPad, you can enable screen recording in the Control Center settings and then swipe down from the top of the screen where you will see a screen recording button. If your smartphone doesn't have a built-in screen recorder, there are plenty of free apps on both Android and iOS that will do the trick. When you are screen recording, you'll probably want to put your phone into Do Not Disturb mode so you don't get any annoying notification noises. Also, be very careful what you're sharing on screen. There's likely sensitive information on your smartphone. And you'll probably want to do a couple of test screen recordings to see what the quality is like and to figure out where those files are saved, because sometimes it can be a bit of a mystery. Recording audio is always going to be a bit of a challenge because the microphone on this thing isn't going to be very good. One way to solve this is to bring your voice as close to the microphone as possible, like this. But it's not going to be very practical, is it? Obviously, the best way to solve it is through one of these, a dedicated microphone. And in this day and age, it's more easy than you might think. If your smartphone has a USB Type-C connector, you should be able to plug some devices into that port and use them on your phone. In the case of a microphone, just make sure you switch to that audio input. Once you've done that, your audio will go from sounding like this to sounding like this, as long as you're next to the microphone. Still got the same problem if you walk away. In most cases, using a microphone with a smartphone won't be practical because you're always on the move. But if you're in a controlled environment like this, a smartphone camera can almost be as good as a DSLR. In this shot, I'm actually using the main camera from the smartphone because I'm using a mirror in order to show the main screen, and I can frame myself. Pretty cool, right? Another suggestion would be to turn on grid mode. This splits up your camera into 9 different blocks. and it helps you keep your camera level and your eye line in a good position in frame. Also, unless you're intentionally trying to talk down to your audience or you're pleading to your audience, you probably want to keep the eye line of your camera quite level. So we're going to use this to film all of our content, but what about planning, editing, production? Well, this can do all of that as well through apps. We'll start with the most obvious one, YouTube Studio. While you will be uploading your videos for the main YouTube app, the YouTube Studio is a place where you will manage your YouTube channel. You can update titles, thumbnails, descriptions, read and respond to comments, and check out pretty much every single analytic there is that's available on the desktop version. That's how comprehensive it is these days. The YouTube Studio app is awesome, but it's also addictive. I challenge you to avoid opening the app until you get out of bed. But if you do need a little helping hand optimizing your videos, don't forget to check out the vidIQ app. It will suggest daily video ideas, automatically generate click-worthy titles, and help you research keywords on your competition. It's free to download for both Android and iOS, so make sure to check it out. When it comes to video editors, a lot of which are free to some degree, you're spoilt for choice. We're highlighting a few on screen now, but don't be afraid to just search for video editor in the App Store and check out the reviews to find out which one would best suit your needs. So far, we've talked about all of the things creators do after filming, editing, and optimizing their videos, and that's as far as most creators get. But in order to take your channel to the next level, you may want to start thinking about what you do before you press record. And yet, your smartphone can help you do that. Google Docs can help with your planning, drafting, and scripting. That's how we prepared this video before we even pressed record. And productivity apps like Trello can help you at a larger scale, organizing the workflow of your entire content, from initial idea to final publication of videos. And if you're terrible at talking to a camera, then a teleprompting app may be just what you need. It allows creators to read from a script whilst looking directly into the camera lens, just like nightly newsreaders have done so on television for over half a century. There are also tons of graphic design apps for creating thumbnails, but Canva is definitely the standout. You can enrich a picture you've already taken with text and design elements, or create something from scratch within a matter of minutes. So back to that YouTuber who got 1.6 million subscribers in their first month with an iPhone 10. Their first video also got 11 million views. What's even more impressive is that they didn't even have a house to do all of this in. They did it in a van. Yeah, that's Janelle. She filmed everything on her iPhone, edited it all together using a program called LumaFusion, which costs $30, and occasionally used a tripod. Her second video got 18 million views. Oh, and she did all of this more than 3 years ago, long before YouTube Shorts was ever a thing. And if this video has motivated you to start your YouTube channel using one of these, then you might want to watch this video that's going to help you grow that YouTube channel.